Okay, in this video we're going to look at blending modes within Photoshop. Blending modes are a feature of layers and they can be used for both creative and corrective uses. And we're going to look at practical examples of both. Now what you do need is an image that has more than 2 layers to be able to use a layer mask, to use the blending modes. So let's create a new layer, and the blending modes can be found in the layers palette, and where you see the word normal, just click on that. That gives you a drop down and that shows you all the different blending modes. Now you don't need to memorize what each one does, but what you do need to know is the groupings of the various blend modes, and there are 6 groups and they're all divided in straight lines. So the first group is called the normal group. The second one is the darken. The next one is the lighten group. Then we have the contrast group. The next one is the inversion and cancellation, and finally the one at the bottom is the component group. And the blending modes within each group behave very similarly. So in the darken section they all do a darkening effect. So you've got darken and multiply. In the lighten they all do a lightening effect. In the contrast they add contrast to different various levels. So that's the whole point. And what we're going to do is look at a few examples of blending modes for photographers. So what we'll do is we'll start off actually with the normal group. The normal setting basically is the default setting that has no effect. On the other hand, the dissolve blend mode does have an effect, but and I'll show you what that does. So in this example I've got a green background layer, and on top of that I've added some text, and I'll change the blend mode to dissolve, and initially that has no effect, and dissolve will have no effect until you change the opacity. So if I bring the opacity down, then you'll start to see what the blend mode of dissolve does. So it has its use, and it has that kind of effect, and that's how to use it. If we now move on to some other examples, so let's have a look at how to lighten a dark image. So I've got an image, it's a bit dark and we want to brighten it up, and what I'll do is I'll first demonstrate how the classical way of doing blending, and to do that we're going to create a copy of the background layer. Okay, so once we've got a duplicate layer, we go to the blend modes and we'll choose something from the lighting section. So choose screen, and that brightens up the image. And to control the effects of the blending, we can use the opacity, and that reduces the effect of the blending mode. And that applies to all the blending modes. And so if you have newer versions of Photoshop, then the better way to do it is to use adjustment layers. And the reason for that is that if you make a change when you've duplicated the layers like this, it makes it more difficult to carry on. Let's get rid of the duplicate layer, and we'll create an adjustment layer. Go with a levels adjustment. It doesn't really matter too much which one you use, and we'll repeat the exercise. The adjustment layers gives you a virtual copy of the layer below, and that's really useful because it gives you a real-time copy, and it gives you a layer mask. So let's change the blending mode. I'll go back to screen and you can see the effect. And now if you decide, again, you can control it with opacity, but if you decide that you don't want that effect to be applied to a certain area, then because you've got a layer mask, then that comes in really handy. So we'll show you that. So we've got the layer mask. We'll choose the brush tool, make sure that black is the foreground color, and then we'll just paint over the area that we don't want the screen effect to be applied to. And so now you've got the majority of the image brightened, and the part that we don't want to do, we've masked out. So again, very simple and easy way of controlling the effect of the blend mode. Okay, now let's have a look at the opposite situation. So you've got a bright image and we want to darken it. So again, we'll create an adjustment layer. Again, layers adjustment. This time we'll go into darken, or use multiply, and that's darkened the image. And again, if I want to reduce that effect, I can use the opacity, and I can decide how strong the effect should be. So again, you've got a lot of control, and it's very easy to control the strength of the blending mode. Okay, let's have a look at contrast. Again, this time I'll create a black and white adjustment layer and go into the contrast section. You've got overlay, soft light, hard light. I'll use overlay this time. That gives the most effect. Soft light gives less strong effect, and hard light gives a strong effect too. So we'll go with overlay in this example. And again, we'll just reduce that slightly using the opacity. And that, as you can see, adds, makes a big change to that image, adds lots of contrast, and very quickly improves your image. You don't have to apply that to still life, you can apply it to portraits. So let's do the same thing, add a black and white adjustment layer, go into here. This time, we can use overlay, but that's a bit strong. So we'll go with soft light, a bit more subtle, and you can see that here's the before and now the after, and that's made a big change to that image. So it's added a lot of contrast to the image, and just improved it really. So that's how to add contrast. Next, we'll look at how to remove color cast from an image. In this example, I took these images and I had the wrong white balance setting on my camera, and it's blue cast. So to remove that, it's again very simple with blending modes, more complicated otherwise. So I'll choose the color picker and I'll click on an area that's white, or should be white. Okay, and now what I'll do is show you how to remove the color cast from this image. So we've clicked on an area that should be white with using the color picker. You can see that that's changed the foreground color. I'll now choose a solid color adjustment. Click on OK. And this time we'll use the divide blending mode. And you can see that that's very quickly and easily remove that color cast. So here's the before and the after. And that's how to remove a color cast. So let's have another example. So this time we've got a portrait image, and again this has got sort of green color cast. So again, we'll repeat that process. We'll choose the color picker tool. We'll click on an area that's white, so her top is should be white. Click on that and choose the solid color adjustment and choose the divide blend mode, and you can see that that's improved it. Now, one side effect of the divide blend mode is that it can sort of blow out some of the whites or the highlights, but it's very quick and easy to fix that. Just double click on the icon for the solid color adjustment layer and just raise those sliders towards the top, and you can see from the image that that's just recovered those highlights. So again, a very quick and easy way to remove color cast and to fix that sort of side effect that you get. sometimes. Let's have a look at another example. This time we'll look at aligning layers. Sometimes you have to make sure that two layers are aligned. So let's move the adjustment layer, this one, and this time I'll just create a copy of the background layer. Just press Ctrl J, and of course at the moment it's an exact copy, but if I go into the difference blend mode, you can see that now that's given us black. So when the layers are perfectly aligned, as they are at the moment, it'll give you black, but I'll just move them just to see if they weren't aligned, what would happen. So just move those slightly, and you can see that it's not going to be totally black, and so that tells you that they're not aligned. And this in itself gives you an interesting effect. It gives you this sort of line drawing and gives you the edges, and that can be used for creative purposes. So that's the use of difference for aligning layers and also to create different effects. The converse of this is that you can use the divide blend mode, and that gives you the similar effect, but when the layers are aligned, the layers will go totally white. So this is when they're not aligned. I'll just move them so that they're aligned. Just move the top layer. It'll then go totally white. But you can see that even by just moving them, you get this line effect. Okay, next we're going to look at the creating a little composite. So I want to add a little moon image to this image. And so I'll go to my moon picture. I right click on the layer and choose duplicate layer. And in the destination, I'll choose the tab that I want it to go to, which is Queensway. And what this does is it'll create that layer in the Queensway tab. There we go. So now you've got two layers. That's the moon image has been copied over to this one. Right. We've got the moon image, but as you can see, the moon is fine, but it's got this sort of black outline to it, which is the sky, and we want to get rid of that. And of course, we could use selections and then just cut out the moon, but you'll find that that's a bit fiddly sometimes. So of course, because we're doing blending modes, I'm going to show you a very quick and easy technique to do that. So first, I'll just resize this. So just going to Edit, Transform, Scale, hold the Shift, make that approximately the right size, position it where I want. Once I'm happy, click the tick. And now, if I change the blend mode to screen, you'll notice that the black has disappeared. And so I've not had to do any selections. Let me just move that just to show you, yeah, the black's disappeared. So without doing any complicated selections, I've got a very simple composite, and that's just one operation. So a quick way to bring two images together without doing complicated selections. Next, we'll look at an example of textures. So I've got my flower image, and I want to add a texture. So I've got my texture image, and again, I'll duplicate this layer and send the destination to the flower image. Click OK, and here we go. We've got the two layers here now. I'll just make sure that the texture layer fully covers the flower image. So just do Control T in this case. Once it's covered the background, I'll just click OK, click the tick, and now I'm going to change the blend mode to one of the contrast ones. So you can see what overlay, soft light, and hard light do. Hard light obviously is not quite one for this situation, so it's a bit too strong. So I'll probably go with soft light or overlay. Let's go with overlay. And I can just reduce that effect slightly using the opacity, and that's added the texture to that image. You can also apply this technique to portrait, so let's get rid of the duplicate layer on that one, and again we'll copy over the texture from here, duplicate layer, and then let's change the destination to the portrait image, click OK. Okay, and now I'm going to just resize the texture, so again it just covers the main image. Once I'm happy, click the tick, and again go into the contrast group and overlay. Yeah, quite strong. Soft light, that's a bit more subtle. Let's go with the more subtle effects. We'll go with soft light this time, and yeah, that's giving you the effect. Now this time I don't want the texture to apply to the faces, so I'll create a layer mask. Okay, choose the brush tool and make sure that black is the foreground color, and then just paint over the areas that I don't want that effect to be applied. And again, that allows you to add textures to an image very quickly and easily, and control the effect using a layer mask. Again, just change that opacity just to suit it. Okay, so that's a very simple example. Let's look at adding a sort of glow to the sunflowers. So for this, it's a slightly different technique. So I'm going to create an adjustment layer, but this time a gradient map adjustment layer. And in this case, I'm going to choose a black and white gradient. And this is quite a useful feature. So choose a black and white gradient, about the third one along. Okay. Now what we want is we don't want it to be absolute black, and we don't want it to be absolute white. So click on the color stop for black, and click on the color, and we'll basically choose a dark grey. So just change the sliders, and you can see it's no longer totally black, but I don't want it to be blue. That's it. So I want it to be slightly dark grey. And similarly with the white stop, white color stop, click on the white again. Bring down the sliders so that we get a light grey this time rather than pure white. Again, you can experiment with the exact settings. Once you've done that, click on OK, and now we're going to change the blend mode from normal to luminosity. Okay. And initially that gives not such a good result, but if we reduce that opacity to about 50% or so, that gives you that sort of glow effect. But it does remove the contrast, and you can add the contrast again. Just create another adjustment layer. We've got to create levels adjustment, change the points, and you've got the contrast returned. So that was a very quick example of adding a bit of glow to the image. So hopefully you found this video useful. We've covered a number of things there: how to brighten an image, darken an image, add contrast, how to remove color casts, how to add a glow, and to do simple compositing as well. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Until next time,